Hello everyone, my name is Bree and welcome to Document a Journey. Today we are doing a sketchbook check-in and also piggybacking on that, reasons why I have multiple sketchbooks. I kind of will do the check-in as I go over the different style of books, so that way you can see what I've done since January. First, I'm going to go through all the sketchbooks and what they are and what I do in them, and then kind of go over the reasons why I like having multiple books. My first reason why I like having multiple books is because of the different paper. That's probably my main reason. So this first little guy right here is a Royal Talens. It's a pocket-sized sketchbook. I was the pocket sketchbook queen for the longest time when I first started YouTube, and now I have kind of gotten out of the pocket size. I don't like it as much. Something that I really do enjoy sketching in here are portraits. I really like to use a sketch and wash pencil or a watercolor pencil, and that is how I got a lot of these illustrations. You saw this in a recent video, and I talked about the portrait challenge that I have on my Discord. And I've been loving doing that challenge. I've been actually really loving Discord. If you haven't checked out Discord, you totally should. I've been doing Royal Talent sketchbook giveaways over there. But going back to this, I really love to sketch portraits in here. So that is kind of what I've been doing. These were done with just a pen and not a pencil. So that's why it's kind of a different style. Anyway, that is what I've been doing in here. This paper is cream. It's 90 pound. It's not great for watercolor. However, I have found a trick that using the sketch and wash or the watercolor pencils has really worked. This is a sketchbook that Cat Riles recommended. It's 100% cotton hot press, and I have been really enjoying this paper. I can layer it and I can really push my watercolors, and that's why I have been liking it so much. Would I repurchase this? No. But the paper is really nice, and I like having, like I said, one of my favorite things about having multiple sketchbooks is having different paper. This is the Royal Talens regular large sketchbook, not the B5, but more like the moleskin size. And I have been doing so much work in here. Yeah, I have been really flying through this. I have 14 spreads left, and I have been working really hard in here. I did some Bernies. This was done, I have a cat named Bernie, by the way, and I sketched him, and that's why I call this, I've been doing some Bernies. I did this with a graphic tints and a ballpoint pen, and I absolutely love it. This was a date night that my husband and I went on. We went to the strawberry patch and picked a ton of strawberries. And then this is our backyard and this is our front yard. But like, I've been working really hard in here, and like I said, I have 14 spreads left, and I'm excited to grab another one because I do have many. Thank you, Royal Talens. I will grab another one when this one ends. This is, I would call this my practice sketchbook. I take this everywhere. It goes everywhere with me, and I just throw anything I want in here, and I love it. This is like my project notebook. It has Strathmore mixed media paper in it. You saw it a bunch during Create December because I did these black and white sketches in it. I continue to do these black and white sketches. For instance, I just did this one recently. I use a tarot journal with this, and I pull 3 cards and I mesh them together into an art piece. I feel like this is a good practice for me to really stretch my creativity in ways that like I normally wouldn't. So I will continue working in this sketchbook. If you notice, there are many sketches that I pull out and make into things. So I'm gonna go over that in a little bit. This is my last sketchbook that I have going on. It is an Etcher sketchbook that I recovered because I hate the Etcher covers, and this is a finished work sketchbook. So normal things I do in here are going to turn into stickers, or they will turn into postcards or something like that. I would say that these are my finished work sketchbooks. So in here, you're not going to see a lot of play. You're going to see more finished pieces. I have right here, this is going to be made into a sticker, and that was pulled from this sketchbook. I just kind of pointed to it just a second ago. Will I find it quickly? Probably not. So it is the snail here, created into, this is going to be a sticker for Patreon eventually, but there's that. Right here, I have this possum, which is now a sticker. I don't have it listed in the shop yet, but maybe I will eventually get there. But I drew a possum here, came up with this idea, thought, I think it would look better like this, and I sketched it in here and I liked it a lot better, and so I went ahead and painted it up. So that's kind of what happens. I work through things in here. For instance, this snake, I worked through it a couple times, found out that I really liked this style of like form of the snake the best, and then I went ahead and I went into one of my finished piece sketchbooks and I sketched it in here. So paper. Paper is the reason why, one of the reasons why I enjoy having multiple sketchbooks. Another reason is size. I don't actually showcase that here in my selection, but if I was going to choose, I would have, I might not even have a pocket notebook. I feel comfortable carrying about this size in my book bag, and so this pocket sketchbook is probably going to be with me for a long time because I just don't reach for it very much, unlike this. But I would probably have this size, and then for my finished piece journal, I would or sketchbook, I would love to have a B5. And so once these are done, that's probably what I will move to. That way I can create multiple illustrations on one page. I don't necessarily have to do one per page. So that's what I would prefer, but this is just what I have right now, and so that's what I'm using. And then the last thing is because I use watercolor, and watercolor takes a bit to dry. Yes, I can do a wet on wet technique, but that is not always what I want. And so I have to set one of these books aside while this dries, and I can continue messing around in here and doing stuff in here and waiting for it to dry, setting it aside, pulling another sketchbook out. Like, that's just how it goes with watercolors. I think those are my three main reasons why I like to work in different sketchbooks. The size matters, the paper quality totally matters. One for play, one for finished pieces, and then the fact that I use watercolor, that matters. This is like a secondary, like if you have a project going, just like if you have a project going, if you're writing a novel per se, maybe you have a separate notebook for that. I mean, that's kind of what a separate sketchbook would be used for initially as well. So projects, size, paper, and then the fact that I use watercolor. I wanted to go ahead and share with you what I have accomplished so far in this year, because this is technically a sketchbook check-in video. I feel like I have pulled out a lot of things from my sketchbooks to create actual items. I've kind of pulled them aside. I have many others, more like postcards, but I'm not going to show them yet because they are Patreon postcards and they're supposed to be a little bit of a surprise. So I will kind of like hint that, and you'll see because they'll be in my finished works, but this is technically everything that I've done since January, and I'm really grateful for this community, for getting me in my sketchbook, trying things that like I wouldn't necessarily try, playing with color that I wouldn't necessarily use, and then also to Kat, because it's always nice to have a buddy when you do things like this. It just makes life better. Community makes life better. People in your life make your life better. So I wanted to say a huge thanks to Kat, because I'm grateful that she has chosen to do this type of challenge with me. And then also a huge thanks to my patrons, because they kind of keep me moving in my sketchbooks. I do have I would say like a sketchbook tier. I used to have a sketchbook club in my Patreon, and I have since stopped because it was kind of a lot of work and it kind of burnt me out. But I am trying to get back into it, and I think I started here. But of course, I don't date anything. But anyway, if you join the Leaves and Up tier, I have a Discord that we talk all things sketchbook. We do a few meetups a month. Like for instance, this month I'm having 2. And I've had 2, have had 2. And there is a section that if you join on Discord, you can join for free. And there are different things in there that are really cool, like an art chat section. There is a section where there are challenges. So I do have a portraits challenge. I do have a challenge based on this flower or flowers in general. I really like having those challenges there to get us into our sketchbooks. And yeah, I just feel like having that community, I just have done 1 in here, that's it. Having that community is important. This right here I got actually at the end of January, so that's where these came from. We've talked about these 2, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's all I've done in here. And then this one, I started this one in 2023, did those, and then I've done this one, which it is turning into something. I love that. This one's not turning into something, but this one is. And then you saw this here. This one I'm going to make into something too. I feel like these are part of a series, and I want to make 1 more. But in my practice sketchbook, I actually did this on camera. I outlined this on camera, and I thought that it would be a really cool sticker. So I'm making it in my finished work sketchbook. Anyway, I've absolutely loved this challenge. It's really gotten me moving in my sketchbook. It's gotten me thinking about my work more, practicing, playing, coming up with different sticker ideas, postcards. I'm just pushing myself, and I think having these different sketchbooks helps because it pushes you in different directions, right? If I want to play, I know what sketchbooks to grab. If I want more finished pieces, I know what sketchbooks to grab. I would encourage you to have multiple sketchbooks for the reasons I mentioned. Size, paper, and the fact that I use watercolor, so you let things dry and you move on. You don't have to wait for something. I hope that this brought you some inspiration. I'd love to know how you're doing with the sketchbook challenge. How many sketchbooks do you have going, and do you agree with the reasons why I have all these? Do I need all these? No. Could this just be one big B5 sketchbook? Yes. Is that where I want to move eventually? Yes. I'm just using up what I have right now. If you made it this far, in the comments below, I'd love for you to leave me a green heart emoji. Those are my favorite. I absolutely love them. If you are enjoying the sketchbook challenge, maybe leave me a few green heart emojis. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, everybody, I'll see ya.